2000, we bought an abandoned 100-acre farm in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. We spent years cleaning it up, built a new house, and now are trying to make it a functional homestead farm. Welcome to Red Tool House. Hello everybody, welcome back to Red Tool House. In this video I want to talk about why I passed up 2 acres for $1,500 total. So that may sound a little crazy, but I'll explain it here. Well, right now I'm standing on our county road. If you would look at our property, my property line actually is right, there's a small stream right here going down over the mountain. So this is the edge of my property line. Obviously I don't own the county road, but there's a small triangle of property on this side, and then on this side is all 100 acres. So there's roughly maybe a half acre right here, and then everything's that way. So everything you see in the camera to this side of the road is all me. This side, of course, is just a little triangle. So the land that was available, and we'll turn this around here so you can get perspective. Try to do like Justin Rhodes and spin it without sticking the camera up my nose. The land on this side, so where are we here? Yeah, so here's the creek. The little triangle is now behind the camera. So this piece of property right here is a little over 2 acres. And it attaches to it adjoins my less than an acre here. And of course is separated by the county road. So my neighbor that owned this piece of property, he's owned it for years. He's cut a lot of firewood off of it. You can kind of see why the canopy's opened up. Some growth is coming back, but he was ready to sell. In fact, he was very, very motivated to sell. So he approached me and said, "Troy, I'd really like to get rid of this property." He needed to cover some loans. So he wanted to turn that into cash instantly. So he made an offer to me because of the liens on it and everything, basically just to pay off the liens. So the lien total was $1,500. So I could have purchased this piece of property for $1,500. So you may be thinking, okay, dummy, well, why didn't you do that? Well, I'm going against my own advice, and my own advice has always been, if you've got the opportunity and the resources to add to your property, anytime you've got an opportunity to add additional property to what already touches your existing property, then you should really look hard at that. But I'm ignoring my own advice in this situation simply because there's really 3 reasons. Number one, it's on the other side of the county road. I really don't want to, I've got tons to work on this side. I really don't want to try to work on anything on this side. There's a lot of ATV traffic that comes through here. If you go back and look at this video talking about how the ATVs have really ruined the Homestead at the end of the road here, I really don't want to have to try to manage something on this side. If I put any type of infrastructure over here, then I'd be dealing with theft, be dealing with all kinds of vandalism issues, all that. At least over here on this side, on my 100 acres, I've got oversight. I've got things in place that I can keep an eye on that. So that's number one. I really don't want to mess with something on this side. If I had an opportunity to add land back on the back side of 100 acres, then I would probably do that. Number two is my neighbor, their house is at the top of this point, and really good neighbor. They've been here longer than I have, and so they're really good neighbors. And this property, already my little 1 acre comes up to a point where I could toss a rock and hit their house. And same here with this 2 acres kind of comes right up in their front yard. So it makes sense for them. He's had an interest in this property as well, but the owner approached me first. Well, my thought was, I really don't want that land, but I really know this neighbor would want to get it if he has the opportunity. So I approached him immediately and said, hey, this gentleman's offering this property to me for $1,500. Why don't you take it? And we discussed that if he didn't want it, then I would definitely consider going ahead and buying it. That way somebody else didn't get it. He doesn't want people in his front yard. Obviously, we don't want people between us. So it's kind of that neighborly thing to do. It makes more sense since it's a piece of land right in this guy's front yard. It makes more sense for him to own it than for me to own it on the other side of the county road. So, good opportunity there. So that's number two, is obviously to be neighborly. And number three, as with anything in this county, as we've talked about in previous videos, this county has had an issue where in the early 70s, the courthouse burned down and lost all the documents. And so they asked people to bring in their documents so they could obviously rebuild their courthouse data. So, an opportunity for some shenanigans there. But supposedly, you can see this road cut right here. Well, maybe you can on the camera. Everything's brown right now this time of year. But there's a little road cut right here. That's a driveway. Well, further down, there's another little road cut. Well, supposedly, the gas company says that there is a road right-of-way that snakes all the way up the center of that property. So it literally comes up and does an S-turn. And if you go up there, you can see there's an old road. So the gas company saying, well, wait a minute, you have to leave that open. You can't close that road off. So if you ever wanted to build a house or build a barn or anything there, then you're always going to have to keep that open for the gas company. Now that's actually disputable. There's several things that I've seen in paperwork on that say, well, that may not actually be true. That may not be the old right-of-way. The old right-of-way may be further up. So, if I was going to acquire this property and was going to do anything with it, then that's the first thing I'd have to do is deal with the gas company to say, okay, wait a minute, is this legit? Is this not legit? So there's really three things that stacked up that said, hey, this is why I'm going to stay away from this land. And I think my neighbor's in the process of acquiring it right now. So I know it'll be in good hands. I know as had a good neighbor for 17 years. Hopefully it'll continue to be good neighbors with us, and then we won't have any issues there. So we kind of like having this property as no man's land, that I won't do anything with my 1 acre here, and he won't necessarily do anything with this land that he acquires. So again, I'm kind of going against my own advice. If you've got the opportunity to expand your property and you can afford it and it's a good buy, then jump all over it, because you obviously want to keep expanding. They stopped making land a long time ago. But in this situation, I respectfully passed on that. I did not want to buy this land. Well, that was a quick one, but just wanted to bring that up and just show you what we're dealing with there. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or suggestions, by all means, leave them below. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Red Tool House Farm. Take care, everybody.